Welcome back to Temple Emanu. This week we start a new book of the Torah. Well, not exactly a new book, but we begin again our reading of the book of Bamidbar. Bamidbar in Hebrew means in the wilderness, and the rabbinic name for the book was Sefer HaPikudim, the book of census taking, or the book of counting. Also can be interpreted as the book of appointments, as in appointments to some public office or official position. This book advances the history of our people from the second year out of Egypt until right before, a year or so before we get into Israel, into the Promised Land. And it is a book of census counting. Over and over again, Moses counts the people, he assesses the people. Speculatively, they cast lots in order to divvy up the land of Israel into territories for each of the tribes. Those territories exist as functioning political units until the time of King David, which is about 1000 BCE. During the course of the book, and again, those middle years in the wilderness are a blank, a mystery, but what we see is that we go into the wilderness as a loosely organized group of recently freed slaves and come out of the wilderness and eventually into Israel at the end of Devarim, at the end of Deuteronomy, as a functioning people. But that takes a long time. Along the way, there are bumps, there are potholes, there are rebellions against Moses and Aaron's leadership. There are challenges to who the priesthood is, very much like the early years of the United States, where major issues and major decisions about what the relationship between the states were and how the federal government would function. It was not clear at the beginning exactly how it was going to work, nor was it necessarily clear whose rights belonged to whom. And so the people of Israel went through that similar process. But this occurs not only on a national level, but it occurs on a personal level as well. If we understand the book as Sefer Pikudim, again, the book of counting or censuses, which, by the way, is where the Greeks got the name from the rabbis. They called it numeroi, and hence in English, the book of Numbers. If we understand this process of counting as also being a process of giving everyone a job, a place, a position, a function within the household of Israel, then we understand that this is not just a story of getting through a wilderness, of creating a functioning political system, but it is also a story of making everyone in that system feel as if he or she had not only a piece of the action, but some responsibility for that system and for the people as a whole. The process wasn't quick and it wasn't easy. But we did it and we got through it and we came out as a functioning people. The lesson for us today is that in whatever years are allotted to our journeys along with the household of Israel, it's our responsibility and our communal institutions' responsibility as well to count us. It's our responsibility personally to step forward to be counted so that we each pick up our little piece of what we can contribute and what we can do for the advancement through history of the people of Israel. Whether we're living in Israel or in the diaspora, we are in that wilderness. We are the continuation of that journey, and we should make sure that we get ourselves counted. Shabbat Shalom.